so much, Jess. Wow. All right. When we got here this weekend, the question was Mindfreak going to be able to win a series? Now they're able to get the hot 3-0 over Echo Fox. Welcome back to the desk. My name is Rich, and I am joined by one of the leading experts in Call of Duty, and Momo. Momo, welcome to the desk for the first time this week.
Thanks, Budgie Benson. I appreciate it. I know he's sick, so it's always good to have you here, Rich, but it's the first time we've actually been on camera together, which could be quite dangerous, but I'll just stick to this side.
You're welcome over here. Rich can't name 6 Call of Duty maps.
And he keeps lowering my chair as well, which is annoying. But
all right, let's just break down the series now that we got all of our experts here. Looking at map number 1. Okay, 100-point club Optic, now Echo Fox. All of that on St. Marie.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. I imagine Echo Fox, they just didn't want to play London Dash. We've heard them talk about it before. They don't feel comfortable on that map, but if you're Echo Fox, why play Mindfreak on this one? Like, you saw what they did versus Optic. Maybe they were thinking Optic had a slow game. That wasn't the Optic gaming we expected, but I mean, Mindfreak, they just took over.
And as well, don't forget how close Mindfreak took TK. You know, a lot of people were saying, like, they should have won against TK on this map. It was the one map where I was expecting it to be gone, purely because it would rule out any kind of chance of this, because we've seen how strong they are. And yes, 100-point Club Optic, 100-point Echo Fox. Are they going to do that time and time again? Absolutely not. But the consistency of this team in the past 48 hours has been fantastic.
Yeah.
I think the biggest difference is we always talked about slow starts. And I mean, they're coming out of the gates, you know, putting up 100 points in the first 2 hills. So that's really the difference maker for me for Mindfreak.
Also, one of the things you want to mention, obviously Mindfreak played this one very well, but also there's a little bit of Echo Fox playing this poorly. And, you know, I want to start asking the question. You bring up that when you actually have the vetoes don't seem to be very well informed. Echo Fox seems to be crumbling just a little bit here, Joe.
Yeah, I would have to go back and look at the vetoes. I'm not sure if Mindfreak vetoed Gibraltar. I imagine they would have, as they're very comfortable on London Docks. So again, I think Echo Fox, they just didn't want to play London Docks. They felt like St. Marie, they could play with the best. Mindfreak, though, I mean, this is their new home. If you're a team looking to play Mindfreak, do not play them on St. Marie Dumont. They just seem to get off to such a hot start. You heard in the communication yesterday, they have particular setups that they find very, very important. I don't know, man. They're just a hot team right now on that map.
Yeah, Momo, as we jump into the second map, a little bit of history on this one as well for Mindfreak.
Yeah, something that I was very vocal about was the Search and Destroy London Docks. Mindfreak has played now. This was the 5th time, and the previous 4, they lost 6-5 after leading. They lost 6-5 after leading. They won 6-3, I believe, against Era maybe, or someone that I can't remember. But then they lost 6-5 again, and I'm thinking, this is just not what they need. And I was so excited to see how this new Mindfreak, you know, this new kind of atmosphere in the room affected them. These guys were just kind of playing off hype, playing off what they were going off over the last 24 hours, and they closed it out 6-3 here. There was no rounds that they choked. There was no rounds that they should have won and didn't. There was kind of no mistakes. Yes, you're not going to win every round, but the plays that they made, prime example here, Dens picks up the kill, trades out well, runs away, plays the time perfectly, and I just think it was very well. I want to give a shout out to Fighter as well. Him on the flank was nice. He was unlucky, to say the least, on some of the rounds.
You mentioned new Mindfreak. The only thing that changed is a huge amount of confidence. Obviously, they're here for a little bit, but Joe, how much do you think they're actually operating as someone who's competed in scenarios like this before? Sorry, Momo, but I just want to say, like, they now have this new X factor with them on their team, having picked up some of these wins.
I mean, that's just it. It's been confidence. You know, we've said it so many times here, like every single day. If they can just not go down 0-2 in a series, we felt like things would get turned around. Here they go up 2-0, they're able to close it out. You know, when they're able to force a 1-1 where they're able to win a search, they go game 5 with TK and Optic. So as soon as they're able to sort of get on the board, you can tell that something just clicks with them, that, hey, we're in this series, like, we do have the talent, we can play with the best in the world. But for a long time there, they were just going down 0-2. They would lose a capture the flag. It was a very tough situation for Mindfreak, but I'm happy they're finally out of it.
I think, like you said, going down 0-2 is tough. They're very, very used to going down 0-1 and going into the S&D, having that in the back of their mind. But now they're starting to go into the second map with a win, and they're like looking at each other like, yeah, you know, we're doing well here. They're carrying that momentum forward, and usually they're going into a Search and Destroy at a loss. And I think that kind of new mentality. I think the mentality from Mindfreak is huge. We're seeing these guys, you know, for me personally, just very happy on social media, very happy coming in. They're practicing, they're training a lot, and they're getting more practice here and better practice here than they have done. And when they were Buzzo was saying in the interview there, I was like, yeah, just don't scrim when you go home. Just keep this going, or even stay here if possible. I don't know if that's possible.
Just take a vacation if you're going to go back home, honestly. And I do feel like one of the big mentality switches is less, how do we not lose, and now how do we actually start to win? And as we jump into map number 3, now this one's going to go all the way to OT, Joe.
It was very surprising to me watching this game. Echo Fox played the first half especially so defensive. Like, they were just so scared. It wasn't the Echo Fox that really we're used to. I mean, the past couple of matches from Echo Fox have really just not been what we have expected overall. But, I mean, they did go on a couple attacks. They tried to box Mindfreak in. You know, Mindfreak did a great job getting out. That was a very clutch play by Assault right there. The game could have been over before then, but for Echo Fox, they just weren't aggressive whatsoever.
I want to point out as well, Buzzo, for me, has joined the rest of his team. I think he's not only in the most improved team, he's for me, the most improved player throughout the CWL Division A. And the reason being, the amount of CTFs, and, you know, but all of us can say that we would see him on a hard point at CTF, and he'd have like 20 or 10 lower interactions than the rest of his team. Yeah. And he would be maybe sitting at the back, playing defensive, just not on the same page. And now he's been defensive, but in the right position, maybe a little bit further up. His positioning, and as I said, mentality is so important, but positioning is key for Mindfreak.
Yeah, score streaks come in right there. I mean, Saints takes out Faceno as Faceno is going for the flag grab, and that was the big thing. So Buzzo, he held on to his streaks the entire time, and what he was planning on using was for this side, because Echo Fox, they know if they got them trapped back there in the bridge, a glide bomb, a fighter pilot can clear out their spawns. They used it perfectly. They saved it for the first half of overtime for defensive purposes, in case they really needed it for that emergency. As soon as they switch sides, they get it within 90 seconds. A great play call out of Buzzo.
And those final moments there are going to be our play of the game, presented by Scuff. Very well deserved as well. It's a crazy play, Phil.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and it's very difficult sometimes, you know, on different maps and modes to kind of pick kind of the moment where it fell apart or the moment where it went wrong or right for a team. But as you can see, this play in particular, Shock's getting in the right range for a PPSH. Fighter putting on the pressure at a different point here, getting so close, so unexpected, manages to get the return. And the one thing that I know Joe touched on, how good Buzzo was with his streaks, the fighter pilot kind of coming down, the misplay. I mean, we could hear on the main stage where I think it was Facento or someone brought the streaks in and he killed someone, and it was, you know, he was like, I've got one, and I was like, yeah, that's your own team.
Teammate, yeah.
And I don't know whether that's trigger happy or that's just a moment of hesitation. I don't know how that happened.
And what's crazy too is that kill that actually spawned all of Mindfreak behind the flag, right? Yeah. So that opened up the spawn location for Mindfreak. So it's little things like that that really just cost you in Call of Duty.
Yeah, and so now we're going to see Mindfreak sitting in a much better position than when we first arrived here this week. We're also